You can tell us that story again, Bernard.
Oh yeah.
The one about
Well, it's great here, and here with Nick Ferry here.
after getting run off the.
You ran from the Holy Well.
We ran
Really, but
well, we weren't. We got to how.
well, look, your man didn't want any filming, and I can understand it.
Fair enough.
You know,
Fair enough.
he didn't want any filming, and fair enough.
What did he cop use?
You have to respect it.
You know, how
Farmers.
do you see
He's walking across his main field. Of course he coppers.
I still was. But it's a good bit away from the house, though, isn't it?
He is, yeah.
So he copped us already.
Oh.
Wasn't long down coming down with the.
Oh, just he'd have the binoculars there.
He came down with the quad.
A quad.
Yeah, he came down with the quad. In fairness, he didn't say. He just said, "Look, no filming, lads."
But sure, that was like the one with the binoculars with Jack Cusick. I was in the national school, Michinoff school as usual. And I'm coming across Torbog. And the next day I see my Uncle Jack with a top coat on him and a flat cap and a pair of binoculars and he lying in the heather. I goes, Jesus, Jack, I says, what had? Good man, Nicholas. He never even took his eyes off the binoculars. He said, I'm spying on Jack Donohoe. I say, why are you spying on him for? Well, now, he said, he's in there on his own. We're both about the same age. He said, I'm spying to find out, it's Friday, he said, and he's to go shopping, where he hides his stash.
Right.
He says, the money. And he says, if he goes before me, I know where his stash is and I get it.
Right.
He says, and if I go before him, sure, what harm, he says. Wasn't that some crack?
Wasn't it?
And he wasn't thinking, today they'd be thinking of robbing you.
Yeah.
There and then, but he was waiting until he went.
Man left.
And then he'd go and get be no good thing, isn't it?
Oh, look. But anyway, Nick, I have a story for you.
Good man.
Well, it's the only thing that ever affected me in my whole lifetime. You know, and I've been round lakes more times shooting, and I've been round bogs shooting, and I've been round everywhere late at night, 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, moonlight and everything. Yeah. And I've never seen anything. But this particular night, I do a bit of photography. This particular night, I was photographing, the full moon was coming up. There's actually a full moon tonight as well.
That's right, yeah.
I might get a shot of that somewhere. But anyway, I was taking the full moon, and I thought to myself, where would I go that I could get a nice clear shot of the moon, that it wouldn't be, you know, obstructed with any trees or something. And I thought of a place beside me called the Grove. There was used to be an old sand pit, and there was a house in it at one stage. Relations of my own lived in it. But down through the years, the old people said it used to be haunted, that they've seen things in it.
Well,
you know? But anyway, so and Bordemona took it over and they levelled it all out, and I thought, this is the place for me now. I'd get a good clear shot here, a good open bog. So I had a golf car at the time, and I drove up to the pit, and sure enough, the big moon was just rising above the horizon. I took out my tripod out of the car. I had a big red lamp, the one with the double battery in it.
Right.
And I left it on the bonnet of the car. Went over, got my tripod out, set up my tripod, put my camera up on my tripod, focused up to the moon, and focused in on the moon. Everything was sharp and nice, and just about to take the picture. I just stepped back a little bit from the tripod. The next thing, I could find this thing like a wind going by my face, the same as somebody got a book and just shook it at my face, right? And the lamp come sliding down off the car, come sideways off. Now, it had to slid down the front of the car, I'd have said, well, it must have slid off the bonnet.
Yeah.
No, slid down off the bonnet. It came as if someone put their hand and just stripped the lamp off the bonnet of the car.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
And this thing went by my face like a wind, like somebody had a big sheet of paper at my face. And I thought it was somebody messing at the car. I said, there's somebody messing, there's somebody here now, somebody messing at the car. And I went over and I picked up the lamp and I shone it around the car and out in the bog. There wasn't a sign of a sinner.
Oh.
So I just put my lamp away, took off my went back, took the shot of the moon, took the shot, didn't stop me from taking the shot of the moon.
Yeah.
Took a shot of the moon, couple of shots that I wanted, got the shots, took my camera down and my tripod put into the car. Never went back near that place since, and that's probably 15, it's more. My mother was alive at the time, she's dead 16 years now. It was probably nearly 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I've never went back to that place since.
Jeez,
That's the truth. Yeah.
But sure, look at, you could walk, spend your whole lifetime walking around and see nothing.
Yes.
That was like me with the fairies. I said to Jack Kilmurray, I said, when will I see them? Oh, he said, you never know, he said. That's up to them.
Right.
He said, but you'll see of them.
Right.
And he said, and you'll see plenty of them. But he reckoned because I was a young lad, and Hawley below, Lord of mercy on him, Hawley was like my man to go to. Hawley wouldn't put you wrong.
Right.
A very, very wise man. And Hawley would tell me what I'd seen was my imagination or whether it was natural or supernatural.
Right.
He'd know straight away. He was a genius at it.
Okay.
And he knew. He used to tell me, "You have a gift." He says, it's a gift of walking the land. He says, you know exactly where to go. There's a little fairy tree there in Burns Field, and he told me the 3 forts. Rathgarrett's the biggest one there, and there's 2 more in Tor.
Right.
And the head honcho lad was in that one. The middle lad was there, and the lower down lad was in the third one. And the other two run right beside my grandmother and grandfather's cottage.
Right.
In Tor. Albert Cusick lives in it now.
Okay.
And the 3 of them are built on 3 underground streams. And them 3 underground streams go straight to that fairy tree and meet up in a triangular point. Because Hawley could do the water divide.
Oh, right, okay.
And when I was a young lad at school...
That's with the forky stick, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
And when I was a young lad at school, and all the nonsense that was going on, I used to get awful depressed and very downhearted.
Right.
And beatings and bullying that was going on. It was bad old stuff, like. And I'd nowhere else to go with it, but I used to go into that. So when I come across the Flash, used to call it the Flash there, and I never walked it, I always ran. I never felt right in that field. And it was Kilmurray again. Kilmurray said to me, never mind that place, he says, go round, come up Rose Bunny's Hill, go out there, he said. He knew the fairy tree was there. And jeez, wouldn't I sit under the tree? And no matter what would be going on at home, or at school or whatever, Jesus, it had lift out of me.
Right.
And I'd get up and I'd feel totally at peace. I'd sit for about half an hour or so.
That's a good one.
And Hawley be nodding at the side, you knew exactly where to go. He says, that's where, and he says, these ancient men, he says, were so scientifically clever. He says, we can't understand it. And he reckoned that they were able to, these underground streams, an elder at that camp could warn the other 2 forts by putting his hand in and vibrating them.
Oh.
And they could pick up the
Vibrations.
with their hand, the far side,
Right.
that they were coming under attack.
Right.
Oh, the history to it.
That old graveyard that we were there today, Nick, that old cemetery, does there ever be anyone buried there now?
No.
No. What's the name of it again, you said?
The cemetery.
Yes.
Do you know that? I might have to Google that now.
Right, okay.
Because it's built round, it was built round the remains of the old monastery.
Oh, there's a monastery there.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's very sacred.
Right.
Now,
It's a lovely place. It looks lovely.
It is lovely.
It is lovely.
That lad that said, saying that it was haunted and should be ashamed of himself, he's not listening to that right at all. He's just making his own version of events. There was often seen spirits around that. There were obviously spirits that couldn't get peace.
Yes.
And they were coming there for help. They're wondrous.
Yeah.
They were coming for help.
Right.
And one of the Bunty Mac, he was from Longford. I'll tell you his name after.
Oh.
The Bunty Mac was out there with me. I was trying to help him.
Mm-hmm.
And he seen the coffin being pulled. And Hawley told me below, he said, that is somebody, he says, that's not at peace.
Yes.
And that they go there looking for help.
Yes.
You see, that's all that is. So
Yes.
nobody's ashamed of nothing. He's just talking shit.
That was a
He's just talking.
that was a strange one. The man came down on the quad was to get a farmer on his field.
Yeah.
His sister teached in Abilara. I never knew her. Funny enough now.
Right.
It's a long road.
Yeah, but no, he
One
was
word.
he was very wrong in all aspects. I can understand his point, but he didn't. He wasn't listening to.
Yeah.
And when you do a story and you've only say, gosh, 3 minutes
Yes.
to do that story.
Yeah.
You can't explain everything in
Oh,
the
no,
whole
of
lot
course
it,
not.
you know. So it's easy for people to look and be judgmental. But I tell you one thing, if I sat down at a table with him, I'd soon correct him on a lot of things, because that is a very sacred land, and I've always highlighted it as sacred because the way it helped me from when I was a boy.
Would there be a preservation on that little well now?
I don't know. There must be something on. Yeah,
There probably is.
Yeah, I suppose the local
Because
people.
most of the holy wells, I think there's preservation.
Yeah.
Well, the old buildings there is anyway. I'm not
And
sure
there's
of the
something
holy
to do
wells.
with the graveyards too. If they're before 1847, they're not a signature
Right.
cemetery. I don't know.
I don't know. I know
I
old
don't-
buildings, some of the old buildings has preservations on them. You can't knock them and you
But
can't.
the story was, and it was Hawley that explained it to me. He said, because when we seen the spirits down there that night, he said, don't mind that. He said, they're harmless. He said, they're looking for help.
Yeah.
He said, and they're going there because St. Hugh had them on us.
I used to hear them talk about wandering spirits.
Yeah.
That they were,
That's what they were.
yeah, that they were looking for help, you know. They were, yeah.
But the thing is, do you not realise? So it doesn't matter if you delete and you can restore it again.
You can recover.
Oh,
You can recover, yeah.
I'll be restored. You know.
You can restore
You
it.
delete nothing because you can take what you like
Oh,
in
yeah.
public.
Oh, you can, yeah.
But I wouldn't do anything to offend anybody.
Oh, no, no,
Do you know
no,
what I mean?
absolutely
That's not what it's
Absolutely.
about.
But I think myself, maybe I'm wrong, but I think myself he wasn't sure who we were.
Yeah.
I think that was
Yeah,
more of the problem.
when he asked where we were from, he was just checking.
He was all chat then.
Yeah,
he was all
grand.
chat. Yeah. I just think he didn't know who we were, what we're about, or who we were really.
But I think when I put some of them stories up, they came from Cork.
He said he had 40 in the field one day at the well. 40, he said he had at the well one day.
Jesus Christ, that's shocking.
Yeah,
A tour of them must have
a tour of them.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
A tour of them, yeah.
Jesus, that's
So,
shocking.
yeah, that was a lot of people.
But,
And he said they're all from, I don't know where they were, Australia and New Zealand and they're from a lot of places.
Jesus, sure is great crack. But sure, people can be very, very funny, you know. You could be doing something just because it's what you love to do.
Yeah, yeah.
And then suddenly somebody there and in your face giving out about
Yeah,
it.
yeah. But then you see, it's like this too, Nick. People destroys it for everybody else. Like,
Yes.
I was telling that man coming up the field today, Jimmy, that we used to shoot pigeons and crows for farmers.
That's right, I've
years
done it
ago.
myself.
Yeah. And then you'd get these, and we'd always, no matter how many times we were shooting for them, we'd always ring him up at the start of the year and say, look, is it all right, Jimmy or Johnny, whatever his name is it okay if we shoot your land this year? And he'd say, sure. And then, but then what you get then was, these jobs that went to the field, they'd ask no permission.
That's
They
right.
just walk into the
That's
field.
right.
They'd shut no gates behind them. They leave the gates all open.
Yeah.
They leave it with a mess in the field, shotgun cartridges, papers, everything. Walk over the field, and the next thing then the farmer's down. And the next thing, when you're back then, he says, sorry lads, I don't want anyone shooting in the field this year because some lad left a load of stuff last year and destroyed my field. That's what you're up against.
Yeah.
You
That's
know,
the trouble.
That's what you're up against.
That's the
You
trouble.
know, so one lad can spoil it for everyone else.
Yeah.
And maybe someone went in there and maybe gave you a man out cuff or lip or something.
Yeah,
You wouldn't just know.
Oh, no, because you heard them say, saying they thought they owned. There'd be lads now coming up from Cork that wouldn't take no shite off
He said they
anyone.
walk by me in the yard and everything as if they owned the place.
Oh, Jesus, that's shocking.
You know.
Jesus, that's shocking.
Yeah. So you can see his point too, you know.
Yeah.
Ah, sure, look.
But sure, you see, I had a call from America here. I was going to do a bit of filming here. There was a lad come down from Dublin, and it was unfortunate because he was a nice bloke.
Oh yeah, I was about to ask you how did that go?
No, it didn't happen at all.
Right.
The one of my cousins below, I had too much for him. You couldn't anything outside of their own comfort zone.
Right.
They're not able for. But he popped his head in the door here on Monday. I knew we'd ahead of him. He'd no intentions, like.
Right.
But if you one of them lads, they'd say, "Oh yeah," he'd promise you, and he'd let you down. Then at the last minute.
Right.
So I tried to tell your man. Oh no, he says, but I'll come down and I'll film you in a fairy field.
Yes.
And we'll do a story there, and then we'll go looking for the cousin. I said, well, good luck with that. I says, because you could have a long look. But he come along and he didn't listen. I said to him, I told him I don't think it's a great idea, and he landed, and I had
the film where he landed.
yeah, and I had already had trouble here with a man came in, and I asked him was it all right to record him.
Yes.
And then his missus came up and she wasn't happy about it. So I said, fair enough. She was fairly cordial about it, and I took it down. I says, I did ask him.
Yes.
Like, you know, she reckoned he didn't know, but he did know.
Right.
And she probably just wasn't happy about it. So I thought, fair enough, no problem.
Right.
No skin off anyone's nose.
Yeah.
But then after that, I thought, nah, jeez, didn't I fall asleep in the bed and the phone on silent?
Right.
And woke up and I pressed, I think it was 12 o'clock I was to me, and it was about quarter past 1 when I woke up. I'd been up here all night with the situation. But the next thing was, he said, been waiting here, don't know what to do. And I said, well, how long? I says, I'll be into you. I'll come in now, I said, but I said, nothing's going to happen. I said, you're wasting your time. You just cannot walk out into somebody's field. I said, without permission and start filming.
Yeah.
I says, it's different if you went out with a mobile phone, you might get away with it.
Yes.
I says, but I wouldn't risk going out with a camera.
Yeah.
And need someone else with him.
Right.
Oh, I'm halfway back to Dublin now, and I don't need this in my life and all this crack. And my partners took half the day off and all that crack. I says, well, I'm sorry about that. And I offered to pay him £100 for his fuel, like, coming up and down for the.
Right.
So then, no, I don't want that. And then I got a bit taken. I said, look, out on here now. Don't be talking to me about respect and disrespect. I says, no one disrespected you.
Right.
I says, it just went all wrong. And I said, I did warn you, trying to get my cousin to come out could be an issue.
Problem, yeah.
I said, and you then.
Well, I'm sure he knows himself. He knows himself. He can't walk into somebody's feet.
Of course, he must know. He must know.
Yeah.
So it's a kind of half and half. And then he said about coming all the way from Dublin. I says, I've come all the way from Bedford.
Yeah.
I said, for a week, I'm not meant to be here. And I said, and it's just been a bad week. I said, no any fucking problems the whole way through. And, you know, so I says, I'm more at a loss than you are.
Yes.
But I let things like that, I let it run off me. Like water off a duck.
Well, you have to, you can't take
you know, but then, you see, I have another man now, Frank Gillespie. He's been following it all, and Frank's going to yoke up something for the summer.
Right.
He's
well, I'm sure we went to the farmer and said, explain to what we're doing.
And do it properly.
Say, look, is it okay if we film in your field or whatever?
And he's still in contact with.
Because most farmers are
Brendan Grace's cameraman from
all right.
So he's going to work on that.
Right.
And like I say, it's only in the early process now.
It'll be nice in the summer too.
It would be nice in the summer, exactly. But it'd be all done properly, then nobody can point the finger at you and say, look at that lad, he should be ashamed.
Yeah.
So when he said that, he should be ashamed of himself, saying the place was haunted.
But when he found out I was from Abilara, he said, oh, Abilara? I said, yeah. He said, he was sister to Todd in Abilara. I didn't know her, I never knew her now.
Cheers.
She said she might have been only there for a few years, but even so, I should have known her, because I know all the teachers that teach in Abilara, like.
Yeah.
You know.
But sure, it's like the complaint I got with Jack Donohoe. Jack had a rake of pigeons, you see.
Right.
Up on the ridge tides and out. And my father, him and my father would just be G and me up, you see. And didn't the pigeons we were 3 months cutting turf down there once, so weren't the pigeons getting smaller and smaller? You see.
Fewer and fewer.
And the next thing, I to my father, say, what's happening with them? Oh, he said, Jack would have an owl gun there now, and he'd be shooting them, and he'd be plucking them and eating.
Oh.
I said, Jesus, eating owl. So I went down to Jack, and I said, Jack, your pigeons again. Oh yeah, he said, I'm shooting them and plucking them and eating. He could see all the feathers in the backyard. But sure, he wasn't. Somebody was shooting them all right.
Yeah.
But he wasn't eating them at all. They were only G and me up.
Right.
And I put that up anyway. This one, Jack Donohoe never had pigeons on his roof, and he never had fairies either around his place. And I said to me, Jesus, that's not what you told me. But you see, what an older man will tell a young fella.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? But they're taking it up.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Things get taken up
So
so
really,
wrong.
yeah.
And that's the downside of it. Oh, you know.
Well, the downside of it,
Sure, look at the Lord get over it.
Oh, yeah.
That was great, lads.